Hello, welcome back to the Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. It's not Rise in the Ashes, I already did that. So let's play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All. This is a really awkward name to say. And not just because of me having a random accent that I don't have. I'm Luigi Van64D, and I think I am anyway. Busy having amnesia over here. Most people that have amnesia don't really realize that they have amnesia until it's too late. Amnesia? I can't believe my lawyer's trying to defend me in such a state. Why didn't you tell me, sir? I'm sorry, I didn't mention it to you. Oh, I know what to do. I bet you can fix something like this with a really strong shock to your system. Come on, lower your head a little. A Maggie kick should be all you need. No. I think I'll pass on this one. Come on! Oh, I'm sorry. Whenever I see someone in trouble, I just have a hard time leaving them alone. I tend to stick my nose where it doesn't belong and try to tackle everyone's problems. Well, my head's one problem you won't need to be tackling today. Well, we're here to solve your problem first. We can deal with mine later. For now, do you think you can fill me in on a few things? Yeah, of course. I'd be honored to. Well, I guess we'll start with my name, and then I can tell you about me. No, that's okay, really. I think I know you and your name pretty well by now. I was wondering if you could help me figure out a few things about myself. So, my name's Phoenix, right? That's a weird name. Hey, this is serious. You really don't remember. I'll tell you what, sir. You can have this back, and maybe it'll help. A business card? I got this from you. It's my most prized possession. You can borrow it for now, but please give it back, okay? Okay. There's some numbers written on the back. Oh, that's your cell phone number. All right. Huh. Normally I'm the one giving this out. I guess for now we should stop talking about me and start talking about this case. This case? Yep. Can you think of anything that would be helpful for me to know? What can I tell you? I can't think of anything other than the incident with that cell phone, but... Cell phone? Yeah! Your eyes lit up when we talked about it. The detention center, sir. Hurry up and tell me! This is going to be very important. Okay, Roger. It was on the day of the crime, just before 6 p.m. I picked up a lost cell phone while I was on the walk with Dustin. All of a sudden, the phone began to ring. Hello?
Oh, thank you. I've been searching for my phone.
Is this yours? Oh, I'm glad you called. We'll meet up and I can give this back.
I'll be right there. I'm sorry. I didn't catch your name.
You can call me Maggie. We agreed to meet up at 6 p.m. Dustin and I waited for the person to show up, but they never did. So where's this phone you found now? I gave it to you yesterday. To me. Is that the phone I have in my pocket? You mean this? Do you think it has anything to do with the murder? I don't really know, but if my eyes lit up... Ah! You were here all along! You're so mean! I called you a million times, but you wouldn't pick up! And when I went there checking the courtroom, everyone had already left! Now who in the heck is this? Let me guess. I'm supposed to know this girl too. Hey, good morning, Maggie. And a good morning to you, Maya. So, how's it going? It's their word for worse than abysmal. Oh. And what if I said everything will be fine? That's right. Then if it's Maya to the rescue with ultra decisive super important evidence. Here you are, Nick. The thing you wanted me to bring. Thanks. What the heck is this? A list? It has about 20 people's names and phone numbers written on it. It's kind of tough, but I managed to find out some dirt. It looks like these guys are up to no good. No good? As in... There's a group of con artists and the police are currently investigating. I think these guys are members of that group. Alright. Well, thanks. Maya was her name? Why would a group of con artists pop up in a case like this? Don't look at me! Where did you get this list from in the first place? What? Why are you asking me that? You're the one who asked me to look this up yesterday. Oh, is that right? These numbers were in the memory of that phone Maggie found. So that's where they're from. You're awfully forgetful these days, Nick. I hope I never get to be as forgetful old prune like you. Maya? Actually, Mr. Wright is... Mr. Wright, recess is now over. Please bring the defendant and return to the courtroom immediately. Oh, oops. Guess you have to get going. We can talk about you being old later, Nick. Well, wish us luck. I guess I have all the pieces now, more or less. That's my business card and names list from the cell phone. All that's left is to put it all together. I'm not going to lose this. I can't. Come on, Nick. Better get a move on. Yeah. Who was that girl again? Oh well. Well, let's hope I remember. And she's right next to me. The court will now reconvene. Please call your next witness to the stand, Mr. Payne. Yes, Your Honor. But before I do, if I may say a few words. What is it, Mr. Payne? It's about the next witness. He has a tendency to say things that rub people the wrong way, you see. So I asked if the court might be a little lenient on... There's no need to give a preface. Just hurry up and call your witness, please. Yes, Your Honor. The prosecution calls his next witness. A drifter who was taking a walk in the park on the day of the murder. Please state your name to the court witness. Before I do, I'd like to clarify a little something. Alright, go ahead. Just now, you introduced my wonderful self to the court, correct? Perhaps as a drifter who was taking a walk? Did I? But I will not stand for that. Now you tinted the court's eyes and colored me wrong. Sure, I suppose calling me a university student with capital income and settled with evil and death and everything in my life is out of the most highest top grade, and you know, understand. I'm looking for the perfect top notch unbeatable to see myself and present the walkers. Yes, I understand. I'm very sorry. I will be more careful from now on. What is he? A human chatterbox? I have to question him? Fashion, cars, women, classes, and of course, university. University only need to apply. Glasses? But you aren't even wearing glasses. That's enough. Your name, witness. Oh, is that how you want to play this? Using your power and influence to keep the young people down? I see how you work now. You old people and your dirty tricks. You thought you had me, but you thought wrong. I'm sorry, I won't have it again. Oh, man. I forgive you. Alright, I suppose I can tell you my name. I'm Richard Wellington, the drifting virtuoso with a PhD in drifting, as it were. If you wanted to, you could call me a university student in transit. Mr. Wellington, on the day of the murder, you were taking a strolling through the park, correct? It would appear that you were attached to that word. If you must, then by all means. But I remind you that I am in no way a prepubescent boy out on a walk with mommy. If you must know, I am... Anyway, please testify to the court what you saw during that walk through the park. See, you said it again, taking a walk. You know, you... What you witnessed will do, Mr. Wellington. What I saw that day, if that's how you wanted to word it. I was at the park all afternoon, deep in thought about my life situation. I don't remember the time all that well, but I do believe it was past 6 p.m. All of a sudden, a police officer falls from above, right in front of my eyes. Without a thought, I looked up and I met the eyes of a charming young lady. Of course, I can remember her sweet face. It was that of a pretty defendant there. The only thing I saw was the banana that fell from the police officer. That was certainly a decisive testimony. Decisive? Nick, did you hear what he just said? Yeah. That's all you have to say? How can you be so calm? It's strange. My mind is very calm and clear. Maybe it's because I believe in my client. You mean Maggie? Yeah. If she really is innocent, then that can only mean one thing. That guy is lying. You may now question the witness, Mr. Wright. I'll find out the truth, no matter how well you craft your lies. I was at the park all afternoon, deep in thought about my life situation. So you were at the park all afternoon. You seem to be having a lot of free time. That was very rude of you, but then again, what can I expect? That's what you get from a man who graduated from a no-name, trashy university. No-name? Trashy? Now, this might be hard for a mush-headed, feeble-minded baboon like you, but I have to think very carefully about the future of our great country. But I thought you said you were thinking about which college to go to just now. Oh, please! Which university I go to will directly affect the very future of this country. That arrogant little snot. I don't remember the time all that well, but I do believe it was past 6 p.m. How did you know what time it was? I see you're not wearing a watch, so... Is that the best you can do? Do you think you can discredit me like that? She's just a third-rate biased fool. I guess you can't expect real smarts from you. His arrogance is really intolerable. So what should I do now? Fine, I just want to get this over with. Answer the question. How did you know what time it was? I can't believe it. I have to deal with a worm like you. You're just a shallow man who can only slam on desks and point at people for fun. I guess I don't have much choice. I'll try to explain it so that even a third-rate simpleton like you can understand. There is a little thing they call a clock at the park. Did you get that? Do you know what a clock is? It's a thing that tells you the time. As you can see, Mr. Wright, that even in the picture of the crime... As you can see, Mr. Wright, that even in the picture of the crime scene... Oh, so it is. Ugh. I looked at the clock, and that's how I knew the time. But if you ask me, the whole concept of breaking time is fragments, and all that nonsense almost falls. In the first class, to live by the time, that even when I watch, what a ridiculous notion. People should live freely without constraints. That's what my life should be. And yet again, another flood of meaningless words. Talk about a first-class waste of time. In any case, all of a sudden, a police officer falls from above, right in front of my eyes. Whoa! And how did you know he was a police officer? You obviously have no idea how powerful my deductive reasoning skills are. With one glance, I could tell just what kind of occupation he held. What shoddy do-it-yourself style practically screamed of a police officer, and by the way, the ties that had cheap, low-cut college. I suppose it was because he was wearing a officer's uniform. Shouldn't that statement have come first? Wow, that's pretty impressive. Hey, Nick, do you think he's figured out what I do? Even I haven't figured out that out yet. Without a thought, I looked up, and there I met the eyes of a charming young lady. Are you sure you got a good look at her face? Animals have this thing called an eye, Mr. Wright. They use that eye to see things. In the case of humans, we have 2 of them. Yes, even you. Ugh. I don't care if I have them or not. Did you or did you not get a clear look of her face? That's what the witness was just about to get to. I would like to request that Mr. Wright not use such a loud voice during questioning. Sustained. Mr. Wright, please refrain from raising your voice in this court. Then please don't make me have to raise my voice. Are you finished? I'd like to continue if that's alright with you. Of course I remember her sweet face. It was that of the pretty defendant there. So you're sure you were not mistaken? Please, don't confuse your pitiful train wreck of a life with mine. I'm what you call a famous brand name product, while you only cheap limitation. That is no way someone as magnificent as myself could have made a mistake. Of course, of course. Oh, of course. Did you notice anything of interest, witness? The only other thing I saw was a banana that fell with the police officer. What? The banana? Yeah, well, it's actually more than just one. More like a bunch of bananas. Now that would be a bunch of bananas. What would a bunch of bananas be doing there? And why would I know such a thing? I'm only telling you what I saw. That's really strange. Maggie never mentioned anything about a bunch of bananas. That's it, Nick. He's gotta be lying about the bananas. He could be, but there's no reason for him to lie about there being bananas at a crime scene. And what if it's not a lie? Well, maybe he thought he was seeing one thing and there was something else. If he mistook something else for a bunch of bananas, then that would be an inaccuracy. Think, Phoenix, think. If my client is innocent, there's no way he could have seen what he said, he said. Which means, if we can somehow show he's lying, yeah, that's exactly what we need to do. She's right. She's got a sharp mind, but I just wish I could remember who she is. Is everything okay, Nick? Yeah. So, he said something about bananas. That arrogant little... Oh, you mean these? Mr. Wellington, I believe I had the bananas you saw right here. Ah, so you knew about the bananas too. Why didn't you say so earlier? But don't think I can use that as a way to pull out more information out of me. And that's where you'd be wrong. Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? Isn't that the baseball glove? Huh? What? A baseball glove? Doesn't it look delicious? Care for a bite? That's not... Ow! Your Honor, I think that proves one very important fact. This witness... Mr. Wellington loves large bananas! Nick? I hope you noticed the icy glares we're getting from everyone in here. What in the world do you mean? I'll have you know I like strawberries much better than bananas. Whoops. I said the wrong thing. I think it over one more time and try again, Mr. Wright. Sorry. Sorry, I just got caught up in the moment. I meant to say, the witness, by the way, how bad are your eyes? How? What are you asking me about this all of a sudden? Your Honor, it is very simple to mistake a glove for a bunch of bananas. No, I don't think so. Objection overruled. You're just one of those people. Yes, you know what I mean. You're like those people who refuse to accept Galileo the world and realize that there are new possibilities. Sure, in the end, we find out that it's in fact a glove, not bananas. However, the view them apart, I do think the room is up in doubt, don't you? And that was why I asked you how bad your eyesight is. It was about 20/25. I suppose you're going to tell me that's terrible, right? Why are you not wearing your glasses today, then? That's because I lost them recently, you see. Of course, I was planning on getting a new pair made right away. But, you know, my glasses are no ordinary pair, so to replace them... How about when you witnessed the crime? Were you wearing your glasses then? How about it, witness? You are an unrelenting evil man. You're like one of those people who reject Joan of Arc because of her death and proud and courageous. You only caught the horrible wrongs rights people, and while you didn't have anything wrong, you gently burned them. Which boils down to were you wearing your glasses or not at the time. Therefore, the identity of the woman at the scene of the crime and that of the defendant cannot be proven by the same by the witness. But by the height difference, there's only 9 feet. It was very possible for him to see the face of the culprit standing at the upper path. Witness, please be more accurate in your testimony. Remember, a person's life is at stake. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, please continue with your testimony. Please tell the court what happened next in the moments after you witnessed the crime. What happened next? The girl on the upper path ran away as soon as she realized I was there. After that, I immediately called the police station to report the crime. It must have been 6:45 p.m. when I made the call. They must have had a lot of free time in their hands since they showed up within 10 minutes. So the person who was on the upper path saw you and then ran away. Yes, that is correct. Which is why even someone with a superior brain like mine can understand that. But that girl is the murderer. You may question the witness now, Mr. Wright. Man, this guy can talk really fast. The girl on the upper path ran away as soon as she realized I was there. Anyone would. I mean, she ran away just like that? Yes, she did. She saw me and flew the nest like a guilty bird she is. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that pun too hard for someone who only has a third-rate education? Actually, that did take me a few seconds to get. Anyway, if she ran away the instant she saw you, how could you tell it was my client? The witness has already answered that question. He stated that the defendant is the culprit. This is true, Mr. Wright. I'm striking your question from the record. How can I get more information out of him? After that, I immediately called the police station to report the crime. Immediately? As in immediately. I mean, sure, a minute may have elapsed before I did, but that's all the duty of everyday good citizen. And did they not teach you that at your pitiful school? You think people learn about how to call the police in college? Hey, Nick, I think you should take a look at the court record for a sec. Huh? The court record? It must have been 6:45 p.m. when I made the call. Court record? Huh. What? Let's get more information first, before I do anything. How do you know what time it was? The detective told me. You know which one I mean. The one with the jacket that makes him look like a dropout with a no-name high school. Hey, bro! I graduated from a pretty good, top-ranked college. I don't believe this. It doesn't matter. I don't believe I was mistaken at the time I called. And if I am wrong, then that detective obviously doesn't know how well to tell time. What? Why you're just some lousy kid who... I think the court can see your point. Anyway, how did the police respond? They must have had a lot of free time on their hands since they showed up within 10 minutes. So you're saying that there were police at the scene by 7 p.m.? They got it there before that, I think. There usually aren't many people in that area at that time of day. But suddenly, before I knew it, there were people crawling all over, gawking. It certainly says something about the morals of people in this country. I can't find anything out of the ordinary in his testimony. Why don't you take one more look at the court record? Yeah, I guess I should. So, immediately. You said immediately. But it was must have been 6:45 p.m. when he made the call. But if you look at this, that's not true. Mr. Wellington, would you please take a look at this? You mean the victim's autopsy report? According to this, the murder occurred at 6:28 p.m. So what of it? You said that you called the police immediately after the murder took place. However, by the time you had called the police, it was already 6:45 p.m. There's clearly 15 minutes gap there. Do you deny it? Yeah! I think this court would like to hear what you were doing during this 15-minute gap. The witness was in shock at the time after witnessing a terrible murder. It's only to be expected that he would be a little dazed. No. 15 minutes is hardly what I call a little dazed. Ah! Mr. Wellington. Yes? Explain yourself. What were you doing during those 15 minutes? Answer the question. Telephone. I mean... Spit it out. I was searching for a phone booth. A phone booth? You mean you don't have a cell phone? You and your questions, as if you're trying to open all the layers of the Matryoshka doll. You think it was really into something special? Witness! I lost my cell phone! There, are you happy? You lost it? Unbelievable! You lose your glasses and your cell phone. You must be very scatterbrained when it comes to your belongings. What? Are you saying that first people are never allowed to lose things? Have you ever heard of the all geniuses strange quirk or two? Rationale, since I have my own quirk, it would be all genius. I'm just simple, plain people let you understand. Enough! Oh man, oh man. Wait, hold on a second. He lost his cell phone? Nick, that cell phone, could it be? You mean this phone Maggie found? There's no way. Boy, I didn't see this coming. What should I do now? Let's question further about this. If I back off, then I get to drop the conversation. Mr. Wellington, where is your cell phone right now? What are you getting all excited about? You seem to be a little confused. I found my phone. I'll have you know. See, here it is. Oh, I see. Looks like he's got his phone. And I thought it was just maybe that this was his. Well then, I think we've cleared this issue up. At the time of the murder, the witness did not have his cell phone because he had lost it. Therefore, the delay in his call was caused by a search for a phone booth. Well, that's the gist of it. I guess you can put it that way and leave it at that. Do you have any further questions, Mr. Wright? Wait a second. I remember something. Check the court record again. Not this one. Other picture. Yeah. There's something. Your Honor, the witness's testimony does not make sense. I don't believe that there was ever a need for the witness to search for a phone. How dare you! You can't just make outrageous claims like that. You do have some sort of proof, don't you? Well, yeah, of course. This evidence should be good enough, I think. Alright, let's have this proof then. Please present proof that the witness had no need to search for a public phone booth. Because it's right here! It's quite simple, actually. Please take a look at this. At the crime scene photo. Is there a problem with it? Oh, there's nothing wrong with the picture. But if you don't understand my logic after looking at it, something is wrong with you. No! It's a phone booth. This is correct. All the defendant had to do was walk 3 steps. Mr. Wellington, why did you not use the phone that was right in front of you? Oh, Order! Order! What is the reporting of the crime a little late proof for you? The witness can't explain what he was doing for those 15 minutes. There's reason enough to throw suspicion in his testimony. Yes, that is very true. What do you think you have to say for yourself, witness? And I bet his phone really is his, Nick. He must have killed Dustin to get his phone back. But Maggie said that she was going to return it to him. So there was no reason for him to kill it for it. And on top of that, we still have the phone she found anyway. But if he wasn't looking for his cell phone, then he was looking for something else? Was he? Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? Do you really have any thoughts do you like to share with the court? Can you offer an explanation as to what the witness was doing during that 15 minutes? I have an idea. It won't be good, but I have an idea. There is only one possible explanation. Alright, let's hear your explanation. However, be forewarned that if your explanation is not persuasive, you will be penalized. Think carefully before you present, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. I probably shouldn't have said there was only one possibility. Please present to the court one piece of evidence that will answer the following. Why didn't the witness call for the police right away? Ouch. I need one piece of evidence that would prove that he didn't, which will explain why he didn't call the police immediately. Well, I tried to prove it, but it's quite odd. I thought I would prove it all, but I guess not. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. Maybe these? Right! Mr. Wellington! What? Don't do that! You almost made me have a heart attack! These are your glasses, aren't they? Ah! Where did you find? Ah! I believe the court all heard what you just confessed to. That these glasses are in fact yours! I'll tell you where they were found, Mr. Wellington. These glasses were found under the victim's body. Under the victim's body? Order! Now wait a second, hold on! I didn't confess or confirm anything yet! Your Honor, I think the answer is quite clear here. As he fell, Dustin Prince grabbed the culprit's glasses. The culprit knew that he had to find his glasses and searched frantically for them. What he didn't realize was that they were under the victim's body. And that is why it took him 15 minutes to make that call. Mr. Wright, are you indicating the witness as the real murderer? Of course! This is precisely what I'm doing! Oh, no! I know I'm right! He's the real murderer. Did you figure it out, Nick? More or less. Turns out this cell phone was the key to the case after all. Anyway, now's our chance to deep six this guy. Sink him in one shot. Yeah! This is so exciting watching you work again. Somehow, my old self is coming back to me. It's time to sink or swim. Everything rests on the edge of the knife. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Order! Your Honor, the defense is making a mockery of this court. Without any solid ground to stand on, he accused the witness of being the murderer. Yeah, that's right. I'm no criminal. This is third-rate fraud of a lawyer. In that case, why don't we look at it from a different perspective? Let's hear your explanation of why you are not the murderer. Why? That's easy. For example, there's the name of the victim wrote. And what about that? Oh, you mean the name Maggie? Yeah, even an idiot like you can read that, right? But we already know that this was not written by the victim himself. After all, the defendant's name is Maggie with a Y, and the victim was left-handed. So basically, you're saying that in order to make the defendant look guilty, the real criminal used the victim's right hand to write her name on the ground? But! Wouldn't that mean the real criminal is someone the defendant knew? Otherwise, how else would the person know that Maggie, or Maggie with a... It's a good point. The witness didn't even know the Miss Bird before the trial. Ah, I forgot. Was there any way that this creep could know Maggie's name beforehand? If this is his cell phone, there is a way. It would be best if I prove that Willis had a chance to learn. The defendant's name was Maggie. Now, will the defense please present its case? How could the witness have known the defendant's name? Well... That would be the cell phone, of course. Mr. Wellington, you didn't have your cell phone with you on that day of the murder, correct? So what if I didn't? When you realized you had lost it, what did you do? What did I do? Didn't you try to find it by calling it? Why, how did you... Your Honor, these questions have nothing to do with... Overruled. Mr. Wright, where are you going with this line of questioning? Do you think there is some relation between this witness's cell phone and the murderer? I do, Your Honor. On the day of the murder, Maggie Bird picked up a lost phone in the park. And... she also received a phone call from the owner of the phone. Hello?
Oh, thank you. I've been in search of my phone.
Is that yours? Oh, I'm glad you called. We can meet up and I can give this back.
I'll be right there. I'm sorry. I didn't catch your name.
You can call me Maggie. That was when you learned that her name was Maggie. But you made one fatal mistake. Fatal mistake? My client's name is Maggie with a Y, but the name was written on the ground with Maggie with an I. This is a mistake that could only occur if you knew how her name sounded. Ah! Order! But, Your Honor, the witness is no motive. And your point is? It's very simple, Your Honor. A person usually would not kill someone without a reason. Mr. Wellington had no reason to kill anyone. That's absolutely correct. I don't have a motive. Mr. Wright? Your Honor? Can you explain what motive this witness could have had? It's very simple, Your Honor. What? Are you sure, Nick? If I said I couldn't offer an explanation, then the trial's over, right? Yeah, but Now then, please present the court proof that the witness had a motive. What Miss Meyer gave me. Wellington's motive is right here. What is this? A list? His phone numbers were pulled off the memory of the phone the defendant found. And we have determined that the people of this list are numbers of a certain group. You looked up all the numbers. Of course. The list of phone numbers were stored in that cell phone's memory. The names and numbers belong to people who are members of a certain con artists group. What? Con artists? Can you explain why these numbers are on your phone, Mr. Wellington? This is an outrage, an invasion of privacy. Looking up the phone numbers of the person's phone is the worst crime than murder. You're one of those people. You're just like the cops who raise billion artists from Brazil. I'll tell you, jeez, this dialogue with God is I don't care, Mr. Wellington. All I want to do is for you to tell us what this list is about. Do you think any of you know what it's like to be a refined man like me? Your Honor, this is unjust badgering of the witness. Objection overruled. Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? Why would the witness have the numbers of a group of con artists on his phone? Isn't that obvious? The witness is a member of that group. Mr. Wellington is a member of the very group. No! All of your friends' phone numbers are stored right here on this phone. If anyone were to look into their phone numbers, it would be all over you. That is why you had to kill. No, this is too much. That does make quite a bit of sense. Well, Mr. Wellington, would you care to explain? I got you now. The police officer. Your Honor. What is it, Mr. Payne? Your Honor, this is unjust badgering of the witness. You said that exact same thing only a few seconds ago. Please, let's think about the content of this phone call. Hello? Oh, thank you. I've been searching for my phone. Is this yours? Oh, I'm glad you called. You can meet up and I can give this back. The defendant had already promised that she would return the phone. After that, all Mr. Wellington had to do was meet Miss Bird and get her phone back. Why then would he need to kill anyone? That is a valid point. What does the defense think about this point? If you think about it logically, then it makes sense. Then maybe we should be thinking outside the box. Yeah. If we think like that, let's see. Maybe the slime ball saw something at the crime scene that would make him commit murder. Your thoughts, Mr. Wright? Well, okay, let's think about it differently. It's not about what would cause him to do it. I don't think Mr. Wellington went to pick up his phone in a very friendly manner. But he was promised his phone, so why would he have to be unfriendly to the defendant? I think he must have seen something that didn't agree with him when he got there. Well, then Mr. Wright, what was that something that didn't agree with the witness? Well, let's see it. Look, if I remember, yep, we can see it here, and we can see it here too. It's pointing us right in the face. He saw Dustin. What Mr. Wellington saw was the victim. The victim? You mean Dustin Prince? Dustin Prince had gone on his date right after his shift was over. With no time to change, he went into the park still wearing his police uniform. Oh! The girl that picked up my phone was the policeman. He couldn't have known they were going out, so he began to worry. He was afraid that the policeman would ask a few questions before returning the phone. If I do anything suspicious, he might run a check on my phone. In his mind, it was possible they had already run a check on his phone. And he went into a panic, is what you're saying? Exactly. Officer Prince was murdered simply because he was in uniform. Mr. Payne, do you have any comments? I'm thinking. Seems the truth has come out at last. The witness, Mr. Wellington, you are... Impressive! Not bad for a person with a third-rate education! What's that supposed to mean? That evidence! Evidence! Ugh, this guy's really creeped me out. All you've been waving around is talking about is that suspicious cell phone. Suspicious cell phone number that it is. Suspicious congruent with that. That's all the phone. But who's got to say his phone is really mine? What's your proof? Your evidence? You want proof that this phone is yours? I already told you earlier. This phone I lost. I've already found it. I don't even have the slightest idea what the phone in your hand belongs to. You can be sure it isn't mine, you simpleton. What? It feels good to see you squirm. We do seem to have a problem on our hands with this phone. Whose phone is it? Without knowing that, it's meaningless as evidence. Ugh. Your Honor, this is bad. I can't let him turn the tables on me like this. Ugh. This cell phone. There has to be something I've overlooked. There's gotta be. Maybe. Oh, the store numbers! This phone is the names and numbers of those in the con group in its memory. We can show them to you, Your Honor. I don't believe this. What are you talking about? What are we trying to determine is who that phone belongs to? Who cares what the phone numbers are stored on it? Besides, who knows? Maybe you went and added all those numbers in yourself. The witness is quite right. I'm afraid you have to reject the defense's proposal. Ugh, that jerk is back to his arrogant, annoying self again. Something else. Fingerprints. I got it. We should check for fingerprints. Fingerprints? Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Wellington must have left some prints on this phone. Nick, don't you remember? When you got that from Maggie, you wiped it off. Why, what? You said that there was sand all over it, so... Wiped it. I wiped it? Pretty thoroughly, too. That's so much fun watching third-rate trash babble like morons amongst themselves. It's made a complete recovery. How many times do I have to say this? My phone is right here, you see. Oh, and incidentally, you can't check the numbers stored in this phone. It must have glitched because all the numbers are magically disappeared. You've got to be joking. You erased all the numbers I was going to use as evidence. Mr. Wellington. What's this? From the way you talked to me, it sounded like you still have some fight left in you. Where did you finally find your cell phone? Oh, you were too much. But of course you have no idea what I'm talking about. Huh? Oh my! Now I remember! Huh. Looks like they hung up. Ah, good. I finally found it! Was that a fire extinguisher? So that's when! What's wrong, Mr. Attorney? Why the harsh glare in your eyes? Nick, we've worked so hard to get this far, but if you don't do something quick, he's gonna get off scot-free. I know this phone has to be his, but how am I supposed to prove this something like that? Mr. Wright, if you cannot prove who the owner of that cell phone is, your indictment has no basis and therefore no power. It looks like you came up a penny short. Where did I go wrong? Don't blame yourself, you're merely a third-rate lawyer. You only made one big mistake. Who are you? What are you? There's something you haven't figured out for yourself yet. Who am I? The court hereby concludes the cross-examination. And the result be all, I'll have to bid you gentlemen and ladies goodbye. I have a reservation at that ultra-fancy restaurant on the upper side of town. Thank you for your assistance. You've had a stressful day, so please, bon appetit. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to just let it go to that? I must now. Please wait, Your Honor. Alright, Nick. I think I might be able to prove it. Prove it? Prove what, Mr. Wright? Everything. Your Honor, the cross-examination has already ended. If he questions the witness with any more of his badgering... You will not harass the witness. Is that clear, Mr. Wright? Did you hear that? No harassment allowed, Mr. Attorney. Please, Your Honor. Very well, but this is your last chance, Mr. Wright. You may present one piece of evidence to the court. I only get one shot at this. If you cannot prove everything, it's over for your client and for you. Do you fully understand? Yes, Your Honor. I'm sure you're already well aware, Your Honor, but the cross-examination period is ended. Were you paying attention, Mr. Payne? I said that Mr. Wright could present only one more piece of evidence. Oh! Now then, Mr. Wright, this is your last chance. It all comes down to this. It's go time. Please present the one piece of evidence that will explain everything. Well, I have his phone right here, but I can't just show this. But however... Why, thank you! How nice. Here, please have one of mine. I got the judge's business card. Yay! Wait, what am I doing? This isn't the place to be exchanging business cards. Your Honor, there is something very important about that card, and that is the back of the card. The card is important because of what's on the back. Huh? You wrote your cell phone number on the back, but that's exactly it. Can you please call this number for your cell phone? Right now? But court is still in session. It's okay. You'll see. Okay, if you say so. Is the defense preparing something, Mr. Wright? We are going to call my cell phone now. And then the court will see everything for what it is. Of all the idiotic, stupid things to... What? What is my phone? Why is it on the stupid sounding ringtone? Mr. Wellington? How strange. I could almost swear that you're holding my phone. You're... No, it can't. By the way, before I forget, thank you very much for the lump on my head this morning. I don't think I need to explain any further, except to say, when you went to retrieve your cell phone, you mistakenly took the wrong one. Got him. So that is what happened. You were knocked out by Mr. Wellington. He is a man who lives on his pride and self-image alone. And in order to hide his involvement with the con artist group, he has become paranoid and lost his ability to make rational judgments. Then Mr. Wright, the phone you're holding is Mr. Wellington's, naturally. Speaking of that man, how is he, Mr. Payne? He was arrested and been taken away, Your Honor. Very well. Now then, this court finds the defendant, Maggie Bird, not guilty. That is all. This court is adjourned. It's good to remember everything back again. Not bad. I knew that the real you would shine through eventually. I'm so moved by what you've done for me, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I feel really bad for Dustin. He didn't do anything to deserve this. It's probably because of me. Huh? My whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures. Your whole life? Couldn't have been that bad, could it? Since I was 6 months old, when I fell from the ninth floor of my apartment building, I've been hit by all sorts of vehicles, gotten sick from all sorts of foods, failed at almost every test I've ever taken, experienced almost every kind of disaster, and never won or even tied the game of tic-tac-toe. My life has really been nothing but a string of disasters. That is, pretty bad. Until I went to college, I was known for the goddess of misfortune. And then at the academy, everyone called me Lady Luckless. Lady Luckless? What's worse is that my misfortune always seems to latch onto those around me. What do you mean? When I see someone in trouble, I always try to help them. Ah, that's right. You were talking about this earlier. It happened again recently too, sir. There was an old lady pacing back and forth at the pedestrian crosswalk. I gave her my hand and, before I knew it, we were having dinner at my house. Oh. I'm sure that Dustin's gone because of me. That's not true! That glove didn't even have any sort of special meaning. That was just a present to say thanks for covering one of my night shifts. Oh, I see. Everything is all my fault! Dustin's death! Your head being all messed up! Well, I don't think my head is that messed up yet. I'm going to go find a new life for myself starting now. The next time we meet, I'm sure I'll have found a whole ocean's worth of good luck by then, sir. Yeah, after all, the goddess of misfortune is only a name. You bet! I'm gonna make it, I promise! Next time we meet, I'm gonna become an unlucky person instead of a goddess. Yeah, that's the spirit. Well, Mr. Wright, Maya, I should get going. Okay, good luck to you. Thanks, you take care of yourself too. What a horrible day. I've got my memory back, but things are still a little fuzzy. But you're okay, and that's what counts. You really had me worried. Come on, let's go back to the office. I'm afraid to ask, but here goes. So, this might sound bad, but, who are you? What? I thought you said you got your memory back! At that moment, everything really did come back to me. Detective Gumshoe. He's someone I've had clashes with in the past during certain cases. But he's also been a good ally during others. The Judge. He's a lovable, kind old man who's really easily swayed by other people's opinions. But in the end, he always comes up with the right verdict. This person, I haven't got a clue. He seems to know me, but maybe he's mistaking me for someone else? And this girl, Maya? You finally remembered! This is Maya Fey, my assistant. That's right. I have so many unforgivable memories about her. For example... To Nick, what's wrong? You keep staring at me. Don't tell me you've missed me. Well, yeah, I suppose I have. I feel like I haven't seen you in ages. Oh? Well, I'm back now. So it's time for us to create new memories together. Alright, sounds good. All the phone numbers on my phone were erased by Mr. Wellington. I guess I have to start over from the very beginning. Come on, Nick. Let's go to a usual burger joint. Okay. Actually, it hasn't even been 2 months since she came back into my life. And that story? That story began on one rainy afternoon 2 months ago. A new Turnabout! It's unlocked, I guess. Man, that Wellington dude was annoying. He kept having that 3-time laugh, you know? It was pretty annoying. He talked really fast. He was... just really irritated me. But anyway, that was pretty good, you know? I kind of wish I could have shown Maggie Bird that... the glove. He had it on him when he fell down. So obviously it was pretty important to him. Oh well. Well, this is Let's Play Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Justice for All. And I'm Luigi Van 64D. See you next time on whatever turnabout we have next. Have a good day, and see you next time.